Taped live and in color in Skokie, Illinois, it's Steve Gadlin's Star Makers.
When you feel so full of talent and you've got that special pep,
when Hollywood and Broadway are calling you and you want to take that very first step, I'm Steve Gadlin's Star Makers.
you're gonna do fine.
I'm Steve Gadlin's Star Makers. It's your time to shine.
The audience is seated, the spotlight's shining bright.
Get out there, you shooting star, and sparkle through the night. I'm Steve Gadlin's Star Makers.
It's so loud.
I'm Steve Gadlin's Star Makers. You're wow with the crowd. Steve Gadlin's Star Makers. Steve Gadlin's Star Makers. Steve Gadlin's Star Makers. Yeah!
And now, the host of Steve Gadlin's Star Makers, Steve Gadlin.
Welcome to another episode of Steve Gadlin's Star Makers, where we feature tomorrow's stars of Hollywood and or Broadway. We want you to calm all of your muscles, except for your smiling muscles, because there will sure be a lot of smiling going on if you watch our show. If there's one thing we really love, it's showcasing music on Steve Gadlin's Star Makers. There's just something about music we can't put our finger on, and that's what makes it so fun to listen to. Here's Sleepy Lou with their take on music. Wow, that was wonderful. Jonas and Maria, hi. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, Absolutely.
That was great. So, you guys are called Sleepy Lou.
Yes. Yep.
And where does a name like Sleepy Lou come from?
It's a name of an old fiddle tune.
That's great. What was the name of the song you played for us today?
We played Indian Corn and Roscoe.
Which was the one that got quiet and then loud again?
That was Roscoe.
I like songs that do that. That's so nice.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to take a banjo and a fiddle and put those two things together and play together?
That's a pretty old combination, so we're just continuing on with.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, they sound wonderful together. And would you call this bluegrass music?
It's more old time, so even older than bluegrass music.
Older than bluegrass, that's old.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Sleepy Lou. You guys are wonderful. Thanks for sharing your talents with us on the show. Thank you. We'll be back.
Bye.
Are you talented? Are you ready to be discovered? Are you one of tomorrow's stars of Hollywood and/or Broadway? If you answered yes or maybe to some of these questions, then we'd love to showcase your talent on Steve Gadlin's Star Makers. Visit us on our website, http://sgstarmakers.com, and click on the link that says, Be on Star Makers. We know martial arts from karate movies, but did you know they can also be used as a talent? Our next guest, Grandmaster Tom Cameron, uses pressure points and energy beams to drop his enemies to the ground. Enjoy Grandmaster Tom Cameron and his assistant Samantha with their exciting martial arts demonstration.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom Cameron. I'm a 7th degree black belt in Taekwondo. I'm a 4th degree in Hapkido, and I also have black belts in several other different art styles. The reason that I'm here today is I'm going to be showing off some of the techniques that we've learned that utilize pressure points as well as energy projection and sound. I have my assistant here, Samantha. She's one of my black belt inductees, and she's going to be working with me. We're going to start out with very basic types of moves. If somebody grabs you, you can utilize a pressure point on the wrist to, if you punch it and come back, it numbs the hand, it causes the hand to reflex open. People are incapable of being able to hold on to an opponent. If I'm coming out from underneath, she can strike a pressure point on the hand, rub it, and then utilize pressure on the elbow joint. So a lot of it requires joint manipulation, but it doesn't require any kind of strength. It doesn't require any kind of physical acuity. The thing that sets our art apart is the fact that we do use energy projection as well as sound. I'm going to use one of the stage people here. Andy is going to be my catcher later on, but for right now, what I want to do is, if you grab hold of my hand like a Roman grab, good. Now I'm going to try and pull you. I want you to resist as much as possible. Do not get down in a good stance. Don't let me pull you. Resist. But the sound, okay, thank you. But the sound to get the energy in the room moving towards me is actually the word me. So if he resists, and I say me, he's not able to resist me any longer. The energy actually forces him towards me. Now, because I'm a bigger guy, I can use physical force to do that. But if I'm doing it with a young lady like this, and I can resist, I can fight it, she can't get me. But if she uses that word, me, she actually is able to pull me off of my feet. There are sounds or phonemes that work for every direction. Now I'm going to try and push you. Get down into like a football stance. There you go. Come on a little closer to the microphone, I guess. And don't get one leg behind the other, so you got a really good stance. Don't let me push you. Good. The sound is ho. So if I go ho, he's not able to resist. Try it one more time. Don't let me push you. It seems very strange to us Westerners that we think that a simple sound or a phoneme would have the ability to affect a person in that way. What's even stranger is the idea that using the sound and projecting energy can actually knock somebody out. Samantha is going to try for her first time to actually knock me out using just the sound and the energy projection. Let me get this out of the way. You ready, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Flip him, flip him, flip him. Sit him up, sit him up. Sit him up. Get behind me, Gordon, for me. Thank you. Support him, support him. Good.
If you can,
Need one more round?
if you can shoot in tight, you should be able to see that the pupils are actually dilated as a result of the initial push, the energy push. Whew. And that's a demonstration of a touchless knockout. Yeah.
All right, come on over, guys. Yeah, you know what? If we need to sit down, let's do that first. Can we get a chair for Tom? How are you feeling?
A little lightheaded.
Okay, do you need a chair? Let's do this. Let's do this interview seated. Are you okay to talk, or do you want to? Okay. No, you can stay right there. You stay right there. We'll come to you. And you have a seat. I'll work in the middle.
Oh,
Yeah.
over there.
Camouflage.
Thank you.
I'll come down here. How are you feeling?
Here, you can see for yourself.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. That's wild. I'm gonna go straight into interview. Are we good? Okay, Tom and Samantha, that was pretty incredible to watch. Tom, can you tell us about what we witnessed when she used the sound and energy to make you fall?
What they are theorizing is that we actually have that humans, because we operate with an electro system in our nervous system, that somehow we've been able to develop the ability to interfere with the nervous system, and it kind of acts like a circuit breaker or a reboot system for a computer.
Wow, it's something to see. And Samantha, how much training do you need before you can tap into that and make that happen?
Preparing for a demonstration, just a few minutes, literally.
But how long have you been practicing these techniques before you were able to make someone fall with sound and motion?
A couple years.
That's fantastic. Well, great. And tell us, too, about the things you were doing with Andy when he was able to resist you and then not able to. How much of that is the sound, or, I guess what's at play there when suddenly he's powerless to your pushes?
Well, my understanding is that it's all purely the sound, that the sound actually affects the nervous system in certain ways and causes an inability or an ability, depending on what it is we're trying to do, to affect the person. So even though they may believe that they're trying to resist, the nervous system again is being interfered with.
And for you, Tom, how do you stumble upon this? You're the one person that we found who puts this stuff on display. So how did you become privy to this technique and this power to be able to make someone fall without touching them?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I mean, my teacher is Grandmaster George Dillman. He's He's a 10th degree in Ryukyu Kempo. He was fortunate enough to be able to be schooled by a grandmaster from Okinawa who revealed the secret techniques to him and took him years to be able to figure it out. And I've been studying now with Master Dillman for about 20 years. So there are a lot of people out here that know it. It's just not a lot of people put it on display. Most people try to keep it private.
Sense. And Samantha, is it your goal to also be a grandmaster in this technique?
Eventually, definitely a master though.
That's great. Well, thanks so much, both of you, for sharing your talent with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we'll be back. Jokes to the left of me, jokes to the right of me. That's what it feels like when comedians are around. Well, here's one comedian with plenty of great jokes, Ian Abramson.
Hello, I'm Ian Abramson. Been having a bit of a weird day. I got kicked out of Home Depot today because they don't have a dressing room and I wasn't going to buy a bathtub without trying it on. That's true. A little bit about me. I grew up in the science projects. That's cheap government housing made out of fake volcanoes. It's true. I was on the bus today and I saw a guy with a teardrop tattoo. And I went up to him and I was like, "What are you, a crybaby?" He said, "I have this tattoo because I killed someone." And I said, "Nice tattoo then." Then I cried. Could I ask a favor of those of you out in TV land? Could you guys think of your favorite comet, like an asteroid? Favorite comet, all right? Halley's Comet, am I right? Halley's Comet, that's right. I'm a mind reader. I do have a backup just in case there's some jerks out in the audience. Hale-Bopp, the second most popular comet. Out of those, I'm pretty sure I nailed you all. When I was a kid, my boomerang went out for a pack of smokes and never came back. I personally like a girl with curves. You know what I mean? I guess I like caterpillars. I guess that's my point. I just found out that when people say the biz, they're not talking about an all-businessman cast of The Wizard of Oz. Thank you. My baloney has a first name, but its last name was changed at Ellis Island. A prime minister is a minister that can only be divided by itself and one. These are the facts, guys. All right, I'd like to share with you guys something that my grandpa used to say. Okay, I used to think this was really wise. Now I'm not so sure, so you guys can help me decide, okay? My grandpa would say that one boy is a full boy, 2 boys is half a boy, and 3 boys are no boys at all. Okay, so what that means is that if one boy is trying to get work done, he's going to get the full amount of work done. If 2 boys are working together, they're going to get half the amount of work done. But if 3 boys are working together, no work will get done. But what about 4 boys? You've got 2 sets of 2 boys at half a boy each, so then 4 boys is just 1 boy? Well, then what about 5 boys? You've got 1 set of 3 boys at 0 boys and 1 set of 2 boys at half a boy, so then 5 boys is just half a boy? Well, then what about 6 boys? You've got 2 sets of 3 boys at 0 boys each, so then 6 boys are no boys? Well, then what about 7 boys? You've got 1 set of 3 boys and 0 boys, and 1 set of 4 boys, and 2 sets of 2 boys, and half a boy each, so then 7 boys is just 1 boy? Give me a break! Grandpa! All right, next I'd like to share a story about me buying a shirt at Target. This is true. Just last week I went to Target, I saw a shirt, it had a piece of pizza on it, a funny little phrase, and I said, "This shirt's for me." They said that it was my size. They said it was a large. Let me tell you guys something. This is a large. Okay, the shirt went up to here on me. This is a large, and this is what they gave me. This is not a large. This is not even a child's large. Okay? And in case any of you guys were doubting me, I want you to know I knew you guys were going to think of Halley's Comet. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with an impression. This is my impression of Justin Bieber in 10 years. Okay, Justin Bieber, 10 years. It's just me. He's just going to be a fat guy. Thank you very much. My name's Ian Abramson.
Ian, very funny jokes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's great. How do you think of things like a boomerang having cigarettes?
You know, you just throw it out there and then it just hits you in the head.
And the things about the different boys. Is that something your grandpa really said to you?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Wow. That's really funny. Which one of the jokes you told is your favorite joke today?
You know, I can't pick favorites. I have to love them all equally.
Is one of them, which one's the most recent that you thought of?
The boomerang one.
Tell that one for us again.
Okay. When I was a kid, my boomerang went out for a pack of smokes and never came back.
That's great. Just as funny the second time. Ian, thanks so much for sharing your talent on Steve Gadlin's Star Makers.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course, we'll be right back. Did you know that you can watch Steve Gadlin's Star Makers on the go? It's called a podcast. You can get our podcast on your compatible device by visiting our website, http://sgstarmakers.com, and clicking the appropriate links. They're the ones that say, subscribe with iTunes, or subscribe to RSS. A podcast is great, and we have one. And now we're going to imagine what it would be like if babies could talk. Here are Steve Gadlin's Star Makers Ensemble members, Neil Arsenty and Louis Hirsch, performing a fantasy about babies with a special skill, talking.
Boy, I sure had a great time during my first birthday party, Louis.
It's your birthday. It's so exciting.
I know it is! I'm going to grow up to be big and strong. I can't wait to get to do the things that grown-ups get to do.
Like go to work and pay your bills?
Well, I'm not looking forward to everything.
And pay your taxes and follow all the rules?
Stop the world! I want to get off!
Don't cry, Neil. You should be happy. It's your birthday.
Hey, it's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Nobody knows where my Johnny has gone. Judy left the same time. Why was he holding her hand when he's supposed to be mine? It's my party, and I cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Play all my records, keep dancing all night. Leave me alone for a while. Till Johnny's dancing with me, I've got no reason to smile.
It's his party, and he'll cry if he wants to. Cry if he wants to. Cry if he wants to. You would cry too if it happened to you.
Judy and Johnny just walk through the door like the queen with her king. Oh, what a birthday surprise! Judy's wearing his ring. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Oh, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're like me, monster shows are something you'd like to see more of. Well, there's a great one that I'd like to tell you about. It's called World of the Weird Monster Show, and you can watch it on the World Wide Web at http:// Wow Monster Show. Or hey, if social networking is your thing, friend him on Facebook at http://facebook.com/wowmonstershow. Now there's a monster show that will leave you saying, wow. What an amazing night of talent we've just witnessed. I'm proud of the stars we saw today. The star women and the star men. Didn't know what time it was, the lights were low, oh, oh. I leaned back on my radio, oh, oh. Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, a lot of soul, he said. Then the loud sound did seem to fade. Came back like a show voice on a wave of haze. That weren't no DJ, that was hazy cosmic jive. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it. Let the children use it. Let all the children boogie. La 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 la. La 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 la. Star makers, they're star makers, they're star makers, they're star makers. Thanks so much for watching the show tonight, and we're so happy you could. We'll see you next time with some more stars of Hollywood and Broadway.